Hi there, it's March the 29th and we are continuing on our journey through Torah, and we're continuing in Deuteronomy, and we're in chapters 11 and 12 of Deuteronomy. In chapter 11, the Lord starts off by saying through Moses to the people, look, it's not your children I'm talking to, it's you, the ones who have actually seen God do amazing things. And that's why I want you to follow me. He's actually getting their attention by saying, it's you who've seen the amazing things I've done. You know the kind of God I am, and that's why you can trust the word that I'm bringing to you and the directions that I'm giving to you. The Lord also talks about the land that's coming up, the land that they're going to inherit. He says it's not a land like Egypt. He says specifically Egypt was a place that you had to irrigate by foot. You had to use the treadles to pump the water up to get the water into the irrigation canals. No, he says, the land that I'm going to take you into isn't like that. It's a land where the rains pour out on it in their season. You haven't got to work it hard. He paints an amazing picture of the land that they're going into. But he also says that if they choose not to live his way, well, if they choose to live his way, there's going to be a great blessing. If they choose not to live his way, his hand of blessing will be removed, and they will find that they are living in a place of curse. And it says that when they go into the land, when they finally possess it, there's going to be a day where they record this blessing and curse, where they go up to Mount Ebal and Mount Gerizim, and one side, Mount Gerizim, they're going to speak out the blessings of God, and on Mount Ebal they're going to speak out the curses of God, and that happens later on when they're actually in the land. But there's a statement here that you need to know that when you live under God's care, you live under blessing. When you take yourself out from under God's care, you are under a curse. In chapter 12, God is concerned that when they get into the land, that they don't follow the ways of the peoples of the land. In fact, they're to completely destroy the peoples out of the land, completely remove them and cleanse the land. And they're not even to be interested in investigating how those people used to worship. They're not to look into that. They're to be wholeheartedly given to God. Also, God is going to specify a place where they are to come and to bring their sacrifices. They're not just to sacrifice willy-nilly like the pagans do, like the non-believers do. They're actually to bring their sacrifices to one place, the holy things. They can eat their meat and they can eat their food in their own homes, as long as it's drained of blood, which is the nephesh, which is the life that is carried in the blood. But they are to bring their holy things to the place that the Lord will identify. And of course, that later, first it's the tabernacle, where the tabernacle is at Shiloh. Then David establishes the capital at Jerusalem. And eventually there will be a place of worship where they come to give their sacrifices. Just going back to chapter 11 a moment, we see this comparison between the land of Egypt, the land where they had to work hard, the land where they had to pump with their feet to get the water up to irrigate the land, the comparison with that and the land of Israel, where the rain falls in its season and they don't have to work hard. Sometimes we feel like we have to work hard to get God's approval, or we have to work hard to get things done. If we're finding we're pumping a lot with our feet, as it were, if we're finding we're working hard to get things done, maybe we need to ask, is this God's way? Because God's way is to pour out blessing upon us. God's way is to provide us with everything we need. So let's live in the goodness of God's provision in that land He's giving to us today. Have a great March 28th.